Dr. Davish Chan. Dr. Davish Chan is name synonymous with a quality-centric vision. He is the president of Prestige Group of Industries, chairman, Prestige Education Foundation, chancellor, Prestige University Indore, and chairman, SOPA. Dr. Chan exudes professionalism and is often seen carving out ideas into plans that achieve the need of modern existence. For the exceptional work that he has done in soybean oil landscape, Dr. Davish Chan has been acknowledged as a living legend in India's oilseed sector and is regarded as a pillar of Indian agriculture industry. He has earned his MPhil and PhD degree in 2009 and 10 and has also been conferred with DSc and DLIT to acknowledge his outstanding qualification in the field of education. He has been awarded with prestigious Globe Oil 2021 award in recognition for his exemplary contribution in the field of industry, education and CSR. Dr. Chan has been nominated as the National Senior Vice President of Center for Education Growth Research, New Delhi in December 2020. He has also been bestowed with the Icon of Madhya Pradesh Award by the Honorable Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh, Shri Kamal Nath in 2019. He is the recipient of World's Greatest Leader Award by United Research Services International, URS Asia 1 in the year 2017. He was also conferred with the World's Greatest Brand and Leaders Award in 2017 by India and UAE Business Social Forum held in Dubai. Dr. Chan has been unanimously nominated as the chairman of SOPA, Soybean Processors Association of India, for 6 terms. He has also received the prestigious title of Man with a Mission and Vision by a leading journal, Oil and Fats Industry in South Asia, in 2002. He is also deserving recipient of the US Government Scholarship in 1999 along with 58 other delegates from 19 countries. Of the many endeavors which he has fulfilled over the years, his contribution to making education world-class and upgraded is right at the top and can be ascertained from the fact that today, Prestige Education Foundation has become one of the significant pillars of the Prestige Group. Prestige Education Foundation provides education to more than 13,000 students from across 28 states of the country. The foundation has already laid stone of Prestige University, which will stand tall over a vast expanse of 35 acres and shall begin operations soon. Dr. Chan has also authored a book titled Golden Insight, Enterprising Soybean. He can be classified as a transformational leader and entrepreneur. Dr. Davish Chan has been able to turn his vision of a successful organization into reality. A committed name in business and social circles across central India, Dr. Davish Chan's body of work is nothing less than a phenomenon.
We welcome you, sir, and I request you to please address the gathering.
Namaskar and good afternoon, not good evening as yet. Good afternoon, Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Avinash Tiwari, Vice Chancellor of Jivaji University, Gwalior, Guest of Honor, Professor Himanshu Rai, Director, IIM Indore, Professor Justin Paul, Professor UPR Sanjom University from USA, special guest, Professor Umesh Holani, Rector, Jivaji University, Gwalior, Professor Cleopatra Valustow, Professor of Brand Management, University of Glasgow, UK, Professor Arhan Sthapit, Head of School of Management, Nepal Open University, Keynote Speaker, Professor Vidya Athota, University of Notre Dame, Australia, Mr. Himanshu Jain, Director of Prestige Education Foundation, Dr. Nishant Joshi, Director of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, Conference Convener, Dr. Navita Nathani, Conference Co-Organizing Secretary, Assistant Professor Brahmanand Sharma, dignitaries on the dais. I would say a very good evening to one and all. I would have wished to be with you this evening physically, but I think my indifferent health restrained me to be with you virtually today. I bring in the greetings for organizing this international conference from our worthy founder, Padma Shri awardee, Dr. N.N. Jain, and the entire board of Prestige Education Foundation. So at the outset, I wish you all a very happy, auspicious, and eventful new year 2022. Though the new year once again has begun with nationwide surge in COVID cases. News coming from across the country is worrisome and reminds me of the devastation the second COVID wave had on us. Given the present scenario, we all need to maintain utmost restraints and should essentially practice and follow the COVID appropriate behavior in our daily life to stay away from COVID infections.
Thank you so much.
Friends, I welcome you all to this 13th National Conference on the theme Industry 4.0 and Key Drivers of Sustainable Global Business Practices, being organized by PIMR Gwalior in its Silver Jubilee year. The theme of this international conference is highly contemporary and literally close to my heart. In my 40 plus years in business and industry, I have experienced, or rather have been a part of the third industrial revolution, say, since 1969. One man, John Bardeen, invented the semiconductor transistor in 1947. Thereafter, there has been no looking back. Electronics and digitization are like the hardware and software of the growth engine of the world. Riding on the third industrial revolution, humankind has evolved artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, blockchain technology, and Internet of Things. Industry 4.0 is, in fact, a fusion of artificial intelligence, machine learning, robotics, and Internet of Things, along with quantum computing and biomedical engineering. Manufacturing companies are adopting new methods for managing production processes. The cost, quality, and time are still key important attributes for process improvement. This is the reason why business process management, that is BPM, is the core of management in different areas like quality management or sustainability management. The new technologies based on Internet of Things and services, smart solutions, and concept Industry 4.0 are opening new possibilities of BPM implementation. The evolution of technology from the most recent industrial age to technology era or 4.0 has resulted in greater demand for horizontal, vertical, and end-to-end digital integration. Industry 4.0 adoptions majorly influences the sustainability aspects in supply chain network, accounting processes, and enhanced waste management, all of which are critical to sustainability. These will adopt another buzzword called blockchain. This new industry is perceived as a truly sustainable manufacturing model, as it focuses on how integrated technologies cooperate together or converge for environmentally sound and sustainable positioning of Industry 4.0 in all its areas. It's consciously using natural resources, less waste process, and the technologies and contributing for the environmental management. This transformation makes it possible to increase the efficiency, availability, quality, and cost efficiency of value making chain, while the energy consumption and the greenhouse gas emissions can be decreased. The successful future of green supply chain is based on a wide variety of range of factors like production management, logistics management, societal and regulatory environment. However, Industry 4.0 technologies are expected to strongly influence the whole supply chain performance positively. Prestige Group is an example where research has focused on cost reduction in soybean production through automation of the water capture system using the M2M communication protocol. It is high time we should now elevate and chase Industry 5.0. Industry 4.0 aims at minimizing human involvement and prioritize process automation, whereas Industry 5.0 has reversed the trend. Industry 5.0 focuses on striking a balance whereby the machine-human interaction can offer the highest benefits. Industry 4.0 emerged with arrival of automation technologies, IoT and smart factory. Industry 5.0 takes the next step, which involves leveraging the collaboration between increasingly powerful and accurate machinery and unique creative potential of the human being. Coming to the sustainable business practices. Now, talking about sustainable business practices are those that allow companies to reduce their negative impacts on the environment while still allowing the businesses to make a profit. To address new developments and changing trends, organizations are now compelled to identify and implement innovative and sustainable solutions, not only within their organization's boundary, but across the whole supply chain network. To me, there are three external drivers like market pressure, societal pressure, regulatory pressure, and four international drivers like corporate strategy, organizational culture, organizational resources, and organizational characteristics, which are prerequisite for sustainable business practices. And every organization, business and corporate entities need to plug in loopholes if they in these external and international drivers to achieve sustainable business goals. I do not wish to unduly alarm you, but if the world does not quickly adopt to the 17 sustainable goals spelled out by the United Nations, the planet may not even see the next century. It is precisely the sustainability target that will force all business processes to dovetail with the multiple elements of Industry 4.0. I'm sure that the conference has served the purpose and will transcend to a new and unparalleled level of excellence in the related areas. Researchers and participants might have utilized this platform to enhance their skills in relation to Industry 4.0 and for adopting sustainable business practices. With these words, I wish PIMR Gwalior all the success for their future endeavors. Last but not the least, I would say I thank all the distinguished speakers of this conference for their enlightened talks, sharing thoughts and knowledge on the theme of this conference. Jai Hind, stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.
Deep thoughts on sustainable global business practices and technologies emergence in regarding to that. Thank you so much. What is important is to believe in something so strongly that you are never discouraged, said by Salma Hayek. With this line, I would like to introduce distinguished lady for this evening as our special guest, Professor Cleopatra Willetso, Professor of Brand Management, University of Glasgow, UK. Let me throw some more light on her profile. Checking the team kindly play the video.
Cleopatra Willetso is a professor of brand management in the University of Glasgow Adam Smith Business School in the UK. She holds an MBA and was awarded a PhD from the Athens University of Economics and Business in Greece. She is the convener of the MSc in International Strategic Marketing. Her primary research interest is on brand management. Over the years, she has worked in many areas in brand management such as brand-centric relationships, brand equity, brand co-creation, and in many contexts including consumer products, services, industrial products, and luxury brands. She has also worked in relationship marketing and marketing communications. Professor Cleopatra has published many articles and research papers in several journals of national and international repute. Several of her papers are on the top 5% of the most cited papers in academic databases, such as Scopus and the Web of Science. She is also ranked on the top 250 academics with marketing a first area of research in terms of citations in 2019 internationally in Mendeley data. Professor Cleopatra is one of the 2 editors-in-chief of the Journal of Product and Brand Management, an associate editor of the Journal of Business Research, and she sits on the editorial board of a number of international academic journals. She is very active in conference organization, either as a member of the academic committee or as the conference chair. She has also been awarded the Best Reviewer Award from the European Journal of Marketing in 2019 and the Journal of Service Theory and Practice in 2020. Also, in addition to this, Professor Cleopatra has visiting positions in various institutions, including the University of Bari, Italy, President University, Indonesia, Bergamo University, Italy, the University of Coimbra, the Hellenic Open University, Greece.
We welcome you, ma'am. I request you to please address the august gathering.
Thank you so much for this warm welcome. I feel a bit in the corner because I just feel that I am a learner, and all of these you said are things that I indeed have been achieved, but through my journey in learning. And that's how I feel. I learn every day from everybody, and I have learned already a lot of things from the people who spoke before me today. I am going to share with you today some of the learning I am doing at present in relation to the particular theme of the conference. So without further ado, oops, my computer doesn't want to operate, I think, but I managed. Let's start talking about Industry 4 and branding. Branding is my research area, and Industry 4 is the topic of your conference. So I try to bring these two together and share with you some of my learning tips or the things that I'm learning at present or I'm thinking about in relation to what changes and what stays the same. And let's start with branding, which is the area that I feel more comfortable with and I know better. If we want to see how a brand is developed and how a brand is managed, we need to think about an overall framework. And the framework more or less works like that. There are some controlled or semi-controlled things from the company. A company sets the role and starts developing a brand. So the company develops brand identity, a symbol, product service, person-related characteristics, and having that in mind, develops offers and experiences that the company hopes that we share with the customers during consumption. As a result of all of that, this is communicated outside through various means, real face-to-face experiences, news, advertisements, and so on and so forth. And specific images are formed in the minds of consumers. And all the images are accumulated and reputations are developed. So when you think about a brand, you think about your overall assessment of the product, symbol, and person characteristics that are the overall reputation of the brand that originally started forming through the company's activities. Is the company the only contributor? No, we are talking about co-creation a lot, and we are talking about other stakeholders that could be influencing what external audience think about the brands. So competitive offers, what other companies do, and what other companies offer influence the brand, develop brand images. The same with inputs from third parties, including consumers, reviewers, experts, or other entities related to the brand, the country of origin, celebrity endorsements, and all of these are uncontrolled elements that produce images, and together with the images developed by the controlled elements of the brand, also contribute to reputation. So this process is not linear. Brand images are, yes, developed, brand reputations are informed, but the uncontrolled images also influence what the company believes about itself and make it adjust what it is. And the brand reputation formed both by controlled and uncontrolled elements influence both images and reputation. So this is the basic way that the brand is developed. It has been developed like that for very many years. And we have been discussing in the last few years about the importance of uncontrolled elements that are enabled more by technologies. But what really is the change because of Industry 4? The model, as it is, remains the same. However, products and services can become more technologically advanced. Yes, this is a change, aiming always to develop offers and marketing activities and experiences that they are both, again, influenced by Industry 4, how things are performed. In the same vein, competitive offers, inputs from third parties, how consumers interact in particular, or how we interact with other offers and so on and so forth, are influenced. And finally, all the communication is highly influenced. So technology and all the Industry 4 has increased the volume of information, has increased the volume of transaction, and all of this is a change. However, the basic ideas always remain the same. What worries me in all this situation? What worries me is that wherever I go, I listen talks about the changes. So everybody is focusing on tactics and tools that are changing. When I speak with my students, what course they want to study, again, they are talking about digital marketing, big data, and they forget the basic strategy, vision-related topics. As a result, they are very capable on doing things, but almost totally incapable on thinking and deciding why they should do specific actions rather than others. So they don't have direction in their thinking. And this is something that really worries me. What worries me is that we keep focusing on the changes and we forget what these changes, because of this Industry 4, help us achieve. And what they help us achieve is develop reputations when we're talking about branding. So this is my 10 minutes of fame in this conference. This is what I want to share with you. And I hope that you found this discussion and this thought sharing useful. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the wonderful honor of inviting me. I'm really touched, and apologies if I just don't follow the flow that everybody says changes, look at the changes. I'm saying look at common sense and make sure that you embrace the changes to achieve your real long-term goals. Keep focusing on your goals. Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful words. Nothing great will achieve without great man, and men are only great if they are determined to do so. With this note, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker for the valedictory function, Professor Vidya S. Atota, Discipline Head HR and Management, School of Business and Law, University of Notre Dame, Australia. Technical team, please play the video.
Discipline Head, HR and Management, School of Business and Law, University of Notre Dame, Australia. Dr. Vidya Sagar Athota is a senior lecturer and discipline coordinator for human resource management. He teaches business psychology and HR-related subjects in the School of Business at the University of Notre Dame, Australia. He has been employed at the Sydney campus since 2007. Dr. Athota holds a PhD from the University of New South Wales. He has over 30 academic outputs and recently published a research book entitled Managing Employee Wellbeing and Resilience for Innovation. He has published his research findings in high-impact journals such as Applied Psychology, an international review, Personality and Individual Differences, and American Journal of Psychology. His research has been covered in several international media outlets, including New York Magazine.
We welcome you, sir, and request you to please address the gathering.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your warm welcome and greetings to you all from Sydney, Australia. It's nearly 11 p.m. here. It must be evening there. And can you hear me clearly, all of you? Wonderful, yeah. So I teach human resource management, organizational behavior, and other HR-related subjects at the University of Notre Dame. And originally I'm from India, as you can see and hear, but I have been living in Australia for 22 years, and it's always I feel pleasure, to have this connection with India and to visit India. And thank you for this opportunity. So as I think about this topic, the 10 minutes that given to me, I was thinking, what is the best thing that I could offer with so the more I thought about it, perhaps I was thinking the compassionate leadership during COVID times, COVID-19. Some things that we all around the world, we are grappling, trying to achieve, or else keep some kind of a balance to our lives, our professional and personal goals, but at the same time, we're managing these COVID challenges. So the COVID pandemic crisis has created unprecedented emotional, cognitive challenges among leaders globally, no matter where you are, that we are constantly facing and bombarded with these challenges. It reminded me of Charles Dickens' quote, and it was the best of time, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. Perhaps even though Charles Dickens wrote this quote a long time ago, still, I think this is very much relevant for us. We are in an age of incredible opportunities, and technology is rising, but at the same time, we are constantly, we are faced with this COVID challenges. One of the most, as earlier speakers also said, artificial intelligence is one of the most powerful move in this fourth industrial revolution. And this artificial intelligence technology is actually, they brought a powerful movement around the globe. The way that we work and globally and interact has changed, and we almost, some people even worried about the artificial intelligence is going to take over even our human intellect. But in reality, that many times we forget artificial intelligence is artificial. It is the human beings that we created the artificial intelligence. We are the creators of artificial intelligence. So that's the point, is that we are more intelligent than artificial intelligence because we are creators of artificial intelligence. So we have this kind of incredible power and a capacity, potential to do incredible things, but still we are caught off guard with this pandemic. We are all of a sudden, most powerful people became very powerless, and we have around us, we witness people, are losing jobs, are losing lives, and economies are, basically becoming upside down, or else organizations failing. So there is certainly this huge need, or huge area for us to address amidst of all these great technological advances. That what we need is what kind of leadership that we need to lead our organizations. We have so many leadership theories, transactional and transformational, and various all sorts of leadership styles are there. But what kind of leadership that we need? And I think what we need, and the compassionate leadership. The compassionate leadership we desperately need in addressing the current problems in our society. That means we need to employ moral emotions in our organizations. That means ability to think and putting ourselves in other person's shoes and ability to look at when people are suffering, when they're in need, and providing some helping hand and show that kind of empathetic response for the people and around us. So that empathetic and compassionate leadership is the most important need for our times, perhaps. Empathy is nothing but putting ourselves in other person's shoe. What other person is going through, what our employees are going through, what our friends and the people in the need who are struggling with COVID, what those people are going through. That's kind of empathetic leadership is we need. Of course, we need all these great goals and ambitions, the plans and all these things, but in the midst of all these things, what we desperately need is the humanness, that show kindness and compassion and understanding and what's happening around us. The deep inside, each and every one of us need to be want to be understood and respected. Would like to be helped in times of need. That is where we employ this kind of a compassionate leadership. And recently, I read a story in the newspaper. I was very touched by this story. This story it's really happened in the beginning of 2020. This Italian priest, his name was Dan Bardelli, and he was admitted. He was suffering from coronavirus, and he was on the ventilators. There was not many ventilators was available. So this priest, who was a very religious person, and perhaps he was in a very he was 72. Maybe he was thinking it was almost the end of his life. At the time, there's another young man got this coronavirus, and he was admitted. And this priest decided to give up his ventilator to the young man. And he basically told to that young man, look, I'm already old enough, take this ventilator, I want you to live. So you can see the height of compassion. So this priest actually believed, and not only believed in the scripture, but also he lived what he preached. That is that nothing but a greater love has no man than this lay down his life for his own friends. I think that's the most powerful way of showing compassion to the people, giving up our own privileges, giving up our own things, that helping people who are in need. In challenging times like this, we need leaders who can show empathy and the compassion to our fellow human beings. Ultimately, no matter how much great business goals that we achieve, how much industrial revolution that we achieved, what really matters at the end of the day is the goodness, the kindness, and the compassion that matters. That matters for us individually, that matters for us in our organizations. When we bring that to humaneness at the center of human organization, that eventually that will impact our overall productivity of organizations. So this evening, my desire is may we all be that kind of compassionate leaders. Thank you.
Power is not much more than technology, and at this moment we need empathetic leadership. Thank you so much, sir. When we develop patience, we find that we develop reservoir of calm and tranquility. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to introduce our guest of honor, Professor Justin Paul, Professor UPR, St. John University, USA. Technical team, please play it.
As editor-in-chief of International Journal of Consumer Studies, a 45-year-old global academic journal ranked as A grade by Australian Business Deans Council. A former faculty member with the University of Washington, he is a full professor of PhD and MBA programs. University of Puerto Rico, USA. He holds 2 honorary titles as Distinguished Scholar and Distinguished Professor with Indian Institute of Management and SIBM, the premier business schools in South Asia. He is known as the author and co-author of books such as Business Environment, International Marketing, Service Marketing, Export-Import Management, Management of Banking and Financial Services by McGraw-Hill, Oxford University Press and Pearson respectively. Dr. Paul has served as lead guest editor with the International Business Review, Journal of Business Research, Journal of Retailing and Consumer Services. Asia Pacific Business Review, and European Business Review. He serves as Associate Editor with European Management Journal and Journal of Strategic Marketing. He has also edited special issues for Small Business Economics and Journal of Promotion Management. Dr. Paul introduced the Mastage model and Measure for Brand Management, CPP model for internationalization, Scope framework for small firms, and 7P framework for international marketing. His articles have been downloaded over 8 lakh times during the last 6 years. He has published over 130 research papers in SSCI journals and 150 in Scopus. Out of this, over 70 papers are in A or A-star journals as per the Australian Business Dean's Council list. He has also served as a faculty member of Nagoya University, Japan and IIM. In addition, he has taught full courses at Aarhus University, Denmark, Grenoble École de Management and University of Versailles, France, University Lithuania, Warsaw, Poland, and has conducted research development workshops in countries such as Austria, USA, Spain, Croatia, China. He has been a program director for training diplomats from different countries and also holds an honorary title as Professor of Eminence at a government university. He has been invited speaker at several institutions such as University of Chicago, Vienna Uni of Commerce and Business Austria, Fudan and Hubei China, Barcelona and Madrid, and has published 3 best-selling case studies with EV and Harvard.
We welcome you, sir, and request you to please address the gallery. Sir, your voice is not audible.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for this invitation and wonderful introduction. And I would like to congratulate the Prestige group of institutions for organizing this conference. And I would like to share some of my thoughts about the research scenario or the need for strengthening the research output in Indian context, because last 2 years I've been serving as chief editor of a journal that receives third maximum submissions in the field of business management in the world. So we have 2,500 submissions this year, and International Journal of Consumer Studies is one of the largest academic journal, and I spend 50 hours every week for this journal. And recently I noticed that there is no Indian professor who is a business management professor in the list of top 1% most cited researchers in the world, not even an IIM professor. None of the IIM professors, none of the IIT professors, those who are in the School of Management department, figure in the top 1% of the most cited researchers in the world. So that means there is still need for encouraging research and boosting research and providing support for research in the field of business management and in the field of social sciences, economics, and so on. So I would like to congratulate the organizers for hosting this workshop, which in turn indirectly or directly helps boosting research output. And academia simply means that, you know, when we talk about academia simply means that teaching and research, it is like 2 sides of the same coin. One side of the coin is teaching and the other side of the coin is research. Only if we do research and publish, we can encourage the intellectual output. Otherwise, people will not think, people will not be creative, people will not be innovative, and there won't be any novelty in teaching if people are not doing research. Researchers develop theory which are useful for practice. That is what is taught in classrooms eventually, and we need new and novel theories, and we need practical dimensions for our teaching, and researchers help that way, and we need to encourage research in Indian context, or Indian researchers need to come up very well, and India needs more research output in the international journals and international arena. Then only India can be a role model. This is because countries like China are fast emerging as research leaders. You know how many papers are submitted by Chinese faculty members. I'm also serving as associate editor of a couple of other journals. And 10 years ago, let me give you 1 or 2 points. 10 years ago, maximum submissions in almost all the leading academic journals in business management used to be from America. But nowadays, maximum submissions from any academic journal in the field of business management come from China. And the second place goes to the United States, and then other countries comes. So if China or Chinese faculty members and Chinese PhD students are submitting maximum papers in all the academic journals, that means China is giving, China is emerging, or China will be the academic capital of the world in the days to come. China is already the factory of the world. So I would expect China to be emerge as the academic capital of the world or research capital of the world in next 5 years. So if that happens, what will be the position? What will be the role of countries like India and other developing countries in the world of academia? So it will be tough. It will be difficult. So Indian academic institutions need to compete, and there is the need of the hour is to encourage research and compete with professors and researchers from other places. And I would like to offer my support for all the institutions, those who would like to carry out research, and I would like to extend support from International Journal of Consumer Studies, which is a 46-year-old journal with legacy. And we are going to be a journal with 8 impact factor very soon. So our international rank based on Web of Science statistics will move up this year when the new impact factor announced. We are ranked as 82nd best journal, but we are going to move to one of the top 20 business management journal, one of the top 3 consumer research and marketing journal based on the new impact factor, because we have already got the calculation of new impact factor, and our journal will be one of the best 3 marketing and best 20 business journals, including all business journals, including economics. So we would extend our support and collaborations, and we can support each other, but our acceptance rate is just 6%. We expect very high quality of articles, and I would like to encourage the Institute for conducting this kind of seminars, workshops, and conferences in the years to come. And I would like to thank the organizers for inviting me. I do have another speech in another conference, a face-to-face program, so I have to rush for that. And I would like to take this opportunity to thank you and congratulate you again. Thank you very much.
Education is the best friend, and educated man is respected everywhere. Education beats beauty and youth. And with this line, I would like to introduce our special guest, Professor Avinash Tiwari, Rector, Jivaji University, Gwalior. I request technical team to play the video.
Holani. Professor Dr. Umesh Holani is currently working as a professor in Department of Commerce, Jivaji University, Gwalior. He obtained his BCom and MCom from Jivaji University, Gwalior, India, and PhD from the same university. He joined Grasim Industries Limited in 1978 as clerk and then joined as lecturer in 1984. In 1985, he joined Department of Commerce, Jivaji University, Gwalior as lecturer, became reader in 1993 and subsequently professor in 2001. Professor Holani has published approximately 250 papers in various genres. He has supervised 47 PhD and a large number of MPhil students. Currently, a number of research students are working under his supervision. Dr. Holani research interests lie broadly in the area of accounting, finance, and applied economics. He is a spiritual motivator for young faculty. He was president of Indian Accounting Association from 2011 to 2012, secretary of Gwalior branch of IAA. He chaired a number of technical sessions, delivered keynote speeches in large number of seminars and conferences. He was Dean, Faculty of Commerce, Faculty of Management, Chairman, BOS in Commerce, Business Administration, Chemical Sales and Marketing Management. Currently, he is Chief Editor of Indian Journal of Accounting. Some of his selected publications include Holani Singh Sahu, Upadhyay and Bhadoria, Contemporary Business Practices, A Road to Excellence, Indus Valley Publication, Jaipur. नौलखा सिंह एंड हुलानी व्यवसायिक प्रबंध के सिद्धांत, रमेश बुक डिपॉट जयपुर एक्सेट्रा।
मंच पर विराजमान विश्वविद्यालय कुलपति प्रोफेसर अविनाश तिवारी जी, निशांत जी, हिमांशु जी, नविता, बन्ना, सारे फैकल्टी मेंबर्स और जितने भी ऑनलाइन डेलीगेट्स जुड़े हुए हैं, गेस्ट जुड़े हुए हैं, उन सभी को अभिवादन। कल मैं उद्घाटन सत्र में भी था और कल से आपने इंडस्ट्री 4.0 पे बहुत कुछ भाषण सुने हैं, चाहे ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी हो, रोबोटिक्स हो और जितने भी तरह की सब चीजें हैं। लेकिन मैं इस पूरे टॉपिक में सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज मानता हूं वो है सस्टेनेबल। अकेला वो एक ऐसा वर्ड है, अकेला ऐसा शब्द है कि वो उसमें खो गया है। हम पूरी विकास यात्रा को अगर देखें तो क्या हमारी कोई भी आज की नीति सस्टेनेबल है? सस्टेनेबल को डिफाइन करने का प्रयास भी कॉन्फ्रेंस ब्रोचर में हुआ है, बहुत अच्छी उसकी डेफिनेशन है। लेकिन क्या वास्तव में हमारी कोई भी नीति सस्टेनेबल है? मैं समझता हूं नहीं है। और इसका एकमात्र कारण है कि हमारी सारी ग्रोथ, हमारी सारी तरक्की, अगर एक कॉर्पोरेट की बात करते हैं तो नेट प्रॉफिट से कैलकुलेट होती है और राष्ट्र की बात करते हैं तो जीडीपी से होती है। और जीडीपी किसी एक व्यक्ति की आय भी कई गुना बढ़ जाए तो जीडीपी भी बढ़ जाती है, पर कैपिटा इनकम भी बढ़ जाती है। और ये हमने 2 साल के कोविड पीरियड में भी देखा, चंद लोगों की संपत्ति कई लाख करोड़ रुपए बढ़ गई और करोड़ों लोग सड़क पर आ गए। जीडीपी बढ़ गई, पर कैपिटा इनकम भी बढ़ गई, लेकिन क्या वो सस्टेनेबल ग्रोथ है? नहीं। और इसी को महात्मा गांधी ने ट्रस्टीशिप के सिद्धांत के द्वारा समझाने का प्रयास किया है और पंडित दीनदयाल उपाध्याय ने इसे ही एकात्म मानववाद कहा है कि जब तक हमारे विकास में मानव केंद्रित नहीं होगा तब तक सब चीजें बेमानी। और आज हम पूरी इंडस्ट्री 4 की कल से जितनी बात चल रही है, चाहे वो रोबोटिक्स हो, चाहे ब्लॉकचेन टेक्नोलॉजी हो, चाहे आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस हो, इंसान उसमें है ही नहीं। जिन चीजों को इंसान को कंट्रोल करना चाहिए वो चीजें इंसान को कंट्रोल कर रही है। और हमारी टेक्नोलॉजी अब ईश्वर के अस्तित्व को भी चुनौती देने का प्रयास कर रही है। और जब जब हम अपनी मर्यादाओं को तोड़ देते हैं तभी तक मानव जाति के सामने अस्तित्व का संकट खड़ा हो जाता है। रामचरितमानस में अगर आप राम राज्य की कल्पना पढ़ते हैं तो उसमें उल्लेख आता है कि समुद्र आवश्यकता के अनुसार रत्न किनारे पर फेंक देता है, मेघ आवश्यकता अनुसार पानी बरसा देता, क्योंकि सब कुछ मर्यादा में था तो प्रकृति भी मर्यादा में थी। लेकिन ये प्रकृति प्रत्येक व्यक्ति की आवश्यकता को पूर्ण कर सकती है, एक भी व्यक्ति की विलासिता को पूर्ण नहीं कर सकती। हमें अपने घर से प्रारंभ करें। हम 3 भाई हैं, माता पिता हैं, लेकिन घर में अगर एक भाई या एक पुत्री या कोई भी एक सदस्य अपनी मर्यादा को तोड़ देगा तो क्या घर घर रह सकता है? नहीं रह सकता। तो राष्ट्र कैसे रह सकता है? मानव जाति कैसे रह सकती है? अभी 2 दिन पहले आप लोगों ने भास्कर में पढ़ा होगा संथाल के पहाड़ों के बारे में, जहां लौह अयस्क और मैगजीन को निकालने के लिए जनरेशन की जनरेशन अपंग पैदा हो, क्योंकि हमको अपना प्रॉफिट बढ़ाना, नेट प्रॉफिट बढ़ाना, और उसका आने वाली पीढ़ियों पर क्या प्रभाव पड़ रहा है उसकी चिंता हमको नहीं। हमें केवल अपना जीडीपी बढ़ाना रहा। जब तक इस प्रकार का सोच समाप्त नहीं होगा तब तक आप अपने जीवन में, क्योंकि अब रिवॉल्यूशन इतनी तेजी से हो रहे हैं, जो कल कुछ वक्ताओं ने भी कहा था, आप इंडस्ट्री 5th और 6th सभी रिवॉल्यूशन देख लेंगे अपनी आंखों में। लेकिन तब इंसान गायब हो जाएगा, केवल मशीनें हम पर राज्य करेंगी, और फिर इन करोड़ों लोग का क्या होगा और उसकी सोशल कॉस्ट क्या होगी। आज घर से बाहर जाते हैं, कितने मोटे मोटे ताले लगाते हैं और चिंता में समय गुजरता रहता है। क्या सुख से सो पा रहा है कोई? फिर किसके लिए ग्रोथ है, किसके लिए विकास है? क्या हम वास्तव में पॉजिटिविटी की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं? क्या हमने मानव को मानव समझना प्रारंभ कर दिया है? क्या हम इंसान को इंसान समझ रहे हैं? और इस सारी दौड़ में मैं आपसे श्रेष्ठ अपने आप को मान रहा हूं, मैं आपसे ज्यादा ज्ञानी अपने आप को मान रहा हूं, जबकि सच्चाई यह है कि सब में ज्ञान है, सब श्रेष्ठ। अवसर की बात है, किसी को अवसर मिल जाता है, किसी को अवसर नहीं मिलता। जब तक इस भावना के साथ काम नहीं होगा, जब तक इंसान को इंसान समझकर काम नहीं होगा, जब तक प्रकृति का प्रत्येक तत्व तो उसमें मनुष्य नहीं, पशु पक्षी भी हैं, जंगल भी हैं, जल भी है, सब अपनी मर्यादाओं में नहीं रहेंगे, लेकिन प्रकृति तो हमेशा अपनी मर्यादाओं में रहती है। प्रकृति का सीना तो हम ही लोग चीरते हैं अपने स्वार्थों के लिए, अपने लाभ के लिए। वर्षों के संचित जल को हमने चंद वर्षों में पी लिया। भूजल स्तर गिरने से कितना दुष्प्रभाव पूरे समुदाय पर पड़ता हम जानते हैं। हमने जंगलों को छलनी कर दिया, हमने पशुओं को खा लिया। और कोरोना के बारे में तमाम बातें आती हैं, लेकिन कोई कहता चमगादड़ से आगे किससे आया, क्या वो भी भक्ष्य है? नहीं, उनको भी चाइना ने भक्ष्य बना दिया। संकट आएंगे, न जाने कितने तरह के कोरोना आएंगे, न जाने कितने तरह की और बीमारियां आएंगी, और मानव अस्तित्व समाप्त नहीं होगा, वो उसको भी झेलेगा। लेकिन ये कोई भी विकास जीवंत नहीं रहेगा, टिकाऊ नहीं रहेगा। हम एक्सीडेंट से समझें उसके बजाय हम स्वविवेक से समझें। हम सबको पूरी धरती पर पुनर्विचार करके विकास की ऐसी नीति बनाना होगी कि हम जितना प्रकृति से दे रहे हैं, जब तक हम उतना अपने ही जन्म से वापस ना कर दे, तब तक हम राष्ट्र का ऋण नहीं उतार सकते, प्रकृति का ऋण नहीं उतार सकते। हम माता पिता और गुरु के ऋण की तो बात करते हैं, लेकिन राष्ट्र और प्रकृति के ऋण की कभी बात नहीं करते। और जब तक हम राष्ट्र और प्रकृति के ऋण की बात नहीं करेंगे, तब तक हमारी कोई भी विकास नीति सस्टेनेबल हो ही नहीं सकती। ये मेरा बिल्कुल अखंड मानना है। और इस दृष्टि से हमको रिसर्चर को खासतौर से विचार करना चाहिए। और ये काम रिसर्चर का है, और रिसर्च के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से यहाँ बहुत अच्छे अच्छे रिसर्चर हैं, मैं उन्हें व्यक्तिगत रूप से जानता हूं, लेकिन अपने इस त्रिनेत्र को खोलिए। जब तक आप इस तीसरी आंख को नहीं खोलेंगे और एक अलग अंदाज में पूरे संदर्भ को नहीं देखेंगे, पूरे राष्ट्र को नहीं देखेंगे, पूरे मानव समुदाय को नहीं देखेंगे, तब तक आप इस दुनिया के लिए उपयोगी रिसर्च नहीं कर पाएंगे। और कल रघुरमन जी ने भी, सिंह जी ने भी इसी प्रकार की बातें कही। कहने के तरीके में होते हैं, लेकिन हर रिसर्चर को एक तीसरी आंख लेकर अपना कार्य करना होगा। वो त्रिनेत्र विध्वंस के लिए नहीं, नवनिर्माण के लिए उसका उपयोग होना चाहिए। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ, क्योंकि समय की अपनी मर्यादा है, मैं पूरे की पूरी प्रेस्टीज सोसाइटी का बहुत बहुत आभारी हूँ। इस 13वीं कॉन्फ्रेंस में अपना एक छोटा सा उद्बोधन देने के लिए, इनकी पहली कॉन्फ्रेंस भी नोएडा ने इंटरनेशनल कराई थी, आज 13वीं भी करा रही है। आगे भी ये क्रम चलता रहेगा, निश्चित रूप से चलेगा। हमेशा मैं इसका भागीदार रहा हूं, गवाह रहा हूं। संस्थान तरक्की करता रहे, हम सबको इस पर बड़ा गर्व होगा। मैं सभी को बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहता
हूं। मुझे समझाने के लिए जिसकी जरूरत आज तकनीकी युग में है। धन्यवाद आपके बहुमूल्य विचारों के लिए। Go afterwards what it is that creates meaning in your life and trust yourself to handle the stress that follows. Aptly said by Kelly McGonigal. With this line, I would like to introduce our special guest, Professor Arhan Stafel, Professor and Head of School of Management, Nepal Open University. I request technical team to please play the video.
professor at Nepal Open University, a PhD in management from JNU, India. He is a practitioner turned teacher currently working as a professor of management at Nepal Open University. Earlier, provided his lectures in Tribhuvan University for 8 years and worked at 2 foreign JV commercial banks Nepal for a period of 6.5 years. Sir has also provided services as Senior Associate Editor of English National Daily for 15 years and GTZ for 11 months that provided real-time work experience. Professor Arhan is also associated with editorial of 7 peer-reviewed research journals, including International Journal of Management Studies. Professor Arhan has key interest for writing and research on international business, HRM and strategic management. Well acknowledged since 2001 through today as recognized author, English editor and significantly contributing to the national life. Professor Arhan has been awarded by the President of Nepal for the merit of the award of PhD by Nepal Vibhushan Class A.
Welcome you, sir, and I request you to please address the gathering.
All right, thank you. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. Thank you very much. Honorable Chair, Chief Guest, and Vice Chancellor of Jiwaji University, Professor Avinash Tiwari, guest of honor, special guest, keynote speaker at this valedictory session, Professor Vidyasagar Atota of University of Notre Dame, Australia, Director of Prestige Institute of Management and Research, Gwalior, Dr. Nishant Joshi, convener of 13th International Conference, Professor Navita Nathani, organizing secretary, Dr. Indira Sharma, co-organizing secretary, Brahmananda Sharma, all the dignitaries on the dais, scholars, dignitaries on the floor, academicians, researchers, and dear students. Namaskar, namaskar from Nepal. I esteem it my great privilege to address this august gathering of erudite scholars and researchers from different parts of the world. I would love to begin my address today by congratulating the PIMR family for organizing this wonderful international conference so regularly. I highly appreciate the continuous effort of the Prestige family, Gwalior, in organizing such international conference on a regular basis, despite the unprecedented hardships caused by the corona pandemic. Hence, Prestige family has epitomized the commitment, dedication, and teamwork, which really deserve great laurels. Bravo. So I can also see here Dr. Davish Jain, president of Prestige Group. So I have fond memories meeting with him during my visit to the Gwalior 2 years back and 3 years back also. Okay, so I have fond memories physically attending the 10th and 11th international conferences at PIMR Gwalior, and I was fascinated by the historic city of Gwalior, the glorious city of Gwalior, and the great hospitality of PIMR family. So it was really marvelous. I really felt tossed. Okay. However, the pandemic has compelled me to participate in this conference just virtually. Last year, the 12th edition, and this 13th edition. I owe special thanks to the Prestige family for inviting me to the conference for 4 consecutive editions, 4 consecutive years. It's a great goodwill gesture towards me. Thank you, Prestige family. Thank you so much. Thank you indeed. We are this time around 5 participants from Nepal, namely from Nepal Open University and Triveni University. I have chaired a technical session yesterday and also attended a couple of sessions today, technical sessions, of course. And I've been inspired by the enthusiasm, the level of zeal, dedication, rigor, and smart work of the both senior and budding researchers. It's really wonderful. So I believe this conference has been a grand success indeed. I mean it. Okay. So meanwhile, I also take this opportunity to recall here the PIMR has signed an MOU with the Faculty of Management and Law of my university, Nepal Open University in Lalitpur, Kathmandu, Nepal, in 2021 for promoting academic and research activities through collaboration between the two institutions and of these two very close friendly nations, Nepal and India. So I hope it will mark a long-lasting relationship between us. I look forward to it, of course. So this year's conference theme is also very relevant, pertinent, and important. Industry 4.0 and the key drivers and of sustainable global business practices. Well, I would like to speak a few words on this. I would love to speak on HR perspectives on this theme very briefly. If you please allow me to share my slide very briefly. I'm aware of the time constraints, of course. So I'm very brief about it. Okay. So I'm presenting here human resource HR perspectives on this theme very briefly. So basically, trying to configure our people-related strategy in turbulent times that we are having right now. So here, 3 major things should be focused on, I believe. First, the context, and then the content, and finally the aims or the final destination or the aims. So basically here, let me begin with context. So we are all aware the context today we face is Industry 4.0, fourth industrial revolution. And then today, COVID-induced business and market, that is another context we are facing. And other general external environment factors that always are there before us as the context. So this has contributed to the creation of a VUCA world, volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous situation. So Industry 4.0, of course, so it's all about digitalization, as the earlier speakers have also focused on that. Papers presented in different technical sessions also focused on that, of course. So we are talking about Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, cyber physical system, networks, blockchain, so many other things, of course. Here, a big challenge before us is to design the content. So since we are here in universities or higher education institutions from different parts of the world. So we are talking about the strategy, formatting the strategy, implementing the strategy on building human capital today. So basically focus would be on building human competency. I would call it CASA, knowledge, attitude, skills, and ability of human beings, human resources. So here, the academia industry gap is the big problem before us, because we are producing human resources, but in the context that we discussed earlier, that gap has not been fulfilled. Now the challenge is more the challenge is more tremendous today in the days to come. So what do we universities, higher education institutions offer to our learners, to our students to fill this gap? Big question, of course. So there is a need to have self-retrospection on universities' role, probably the need to redefine the role, probably. Okay, so as we go by the World Economic Forum's reports, we can also see how things have changed, how the requirement in the industry after industry have changed over the period of time, and now it's going to change more drastically in the days to come. So then focus, therefore, should be on developing human resources and competent managers. So then we ask ourselves, are our educators ready to act for developing competent future managers or future human resources required for different organizations all over the world? So in the context that we have already discussed earlier. So have we striven to hone essential skills of human capital or human resources? So we need to develop higher order thinking, analytical diagnostic skills, critical thinking skills, creative thinking skills, systems analysis skills. So altogether contributing to metacognitive skills. So are we really able to do that? That in addition to them, also the emotional intelligence is very, very important. So altogether, this will ensure that we can have sustainability and growth. So if we pursue these aims, then naturally we have to hone essential skills on our managers, future managers, of course. So probably we talk about moving from lots to hots. So higher, lower order thinking skills that we've been inculcating or honing among our students, our scholars. So that lower order thinking might not work more. So we have to move from lots to hots. So focus should be there. While we design our courses or pedagogy, andragogy, then that will be very important. So just having a look at that, are we educators ready to move from traditional knowledge recall based education and training to the higher order thinking? So based on the Bloom's taxonomy and then beyond. So progression for pedagogy to andragogy to heutagogy. So we have to move upwards from level 1 to level 3 as this has portrayed here. So less learner maturity and less autonomy required at the level 1 when we just follow this level 1. Then we have to move towards the upper level. So looking for more learner maturity and more autonomy required at the level. So then we bring together, integrate technology with the requirement of human competency. So it is, again, to move from the in-house level to this SAMR, as it has mentioned. So integrating technology with the requirement. So this is another very important things we have to look at. So my sincere request for all the academicians, researcher, is to look at this, the possibility, the potential to move towards the aims. So of course, our aims is, of course, sustainable business, as the title or the theme of this international conference is all about. So sustainable business is something that we have envisaged, we have envisioned. So sustainable global business practices from coming all the way from sustainable businesses. So we have sustainable development goals in sight. We have kept in our perspective sustainable business enterprises and also corporate social responsibility, shared values. Of course, there should be a very strong emphasis on human value creation and peace, whatever we do, as one of the earlier speakers has also emphasized on. So we are going to create the sustainable business, but at the same time, let's make our society, let's make our earth a better place to live with peace, harmony, and prosperity. So this is all from my side. I once again congratulate this Prestige Institute of Management and the organizing team. Thank you so much. Thank you and namaskar.
So, myself, man is great not because he hasn't failed. Man is great because failure hasn't stopped him, said by Confucius. Now I would like to call upon faculty members of PIMR Warrior who have completed their PhD. I also request dignitaries to come forward to felicitate the faculty who are receiving these awards. I'm calling the naming sequence and request faculty members to come forward to receive the award. May I request Dr. Pranshuman Parashas, Assistant Professor, to come forward to receive the award. His PhD is awarded in 2021. Next in line, I would like to call Dr. Praveen Arundar, Assistant Professor. Congratulations. Congratulations, all faculty members. If you believe in yourself and have dedication and pride and never quit, you will be the winner. The price of victory is high, and so as the rewards. Aptly said by Paul Bryant. Ladies and gentlemen, now I would like to call those faculty members who have served FPIMR Warrior for 10 years and 20 years. Now I request Mr. Sanjay Gupta, Assistant Professor, to receive the award. Next in line, Dr. B.S. Badoria, Assistant Professor, to receive the award. I request Dr. Richa Banerjee, Assistant Professor, to receive the award. Followed by Mr. Deepak Savita, Senior Accountant, to receive the award. Next, I request Ms. Sarika Singh, Girls Hostel Warden, to receive the award. For this, I request Ms. Anamika Srivastava, Deputy Librarian, to receive the award. Congratulations to all faculty members. You are building blocks of this institute. Now, I would like to call one of the strongest pillars of this institute who has serving the institute for the last 20 years, very meticulous, very determined, Dr. Nitin Pahadia, sir. May I request you? Success is no accident. It's hard work, learning, studying, and sacrifice, and most of love for what you are doing. Here is the time to meet the Best PhD Award and Best Paper Award, and for the same, I would like to announce the names of awardees. The best PhD thesis is conferred upon Dr. Shripad Kulkarni, Assistant Professor, IIT Nagpur. So, the Best Paper Award is conferred upon Vedika Singh. Vedika Singh is there online. Can we have a look?
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor, for
Congratulations,
this.
ma'am. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, winners. Ladies and gentlemen, there is one special announcement by Conference Chairman and Director EIMR Warrior, Dr. Nishan Joshi, and for the same, I would like to call him. I request other dignitaries to be seated.
I'm so thankful to Honorable Vice Chairman, sir, Dr. Gulani, and all my colleagues and dear listeners. This is a very special announcement. We have done 25 in June, and there was one addition which was missing in our system. In one of our last board of studies, Dr. Yogesh Upadhyay had actually asked me to start to install the Best Faculty Award. We have done a very rigorous and meticulous calculations on the Best Faculty Award, and this is how it was done. The overall TBAS calculations were taken in consideration, reducing the director's marks, so I am out of it. And there were third-party assessments which had happened in the month of June. You were all part of it. Those numbers were added, followed by the students' feedback, which was taken over a period of time, was added, and this numerical formula brought out the best faculty amongst us. Because our TPA system does include a lot of things. It includes the results that the student has, your own peer review assessment, and everything. So for the year 2021-22, our best faculty is Dr. Chanda Gulati.
Congratulations, ma'am. Strength does not come from winning. Your struggles develop your strength. When you go through hardships and decide not to surrender, that is strength. Aptly said by Mahatma Gandhi. Today we have with us Professor Avinash Tiwari, Vice Chancellor, Jivaji University, Gwalior. I request my technical team to play the video.
Vice Chancellor, Jivaji University, Gwalior, Madhya Pradesh. Professor Avinash Tiwari is currently serving as the Vice Chancellor of Jivaji University, Gwalior. He completed his MSc Botany in 1983 from Allahabad University, Uttar Pradesh. He completed his PhD in the year 1988 from Botany Department, Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi. He has delivered lectures and has been invited as a resource person at several national, international workshops, seminars, conferences, orientation and refresher courses. He has played an important role in establishing the Center for Tourism and Travel Management Studies at Jivaji University, Gwalior. He developed a high-precision quality control lab having sophisticated instruments at Center for Food Technology. He was part of the team to develop various protocols for GLOBE during the visit of ILO Philippines, Boulder, USA, and Taipei, Taiwan. Presently, he is the state coordinator of GLOBE program for Sikkim, Chhattisgarh, Odisha, and Assam. The program is being implemented by World Bank through Ministry of Environment and Forest, New Delhi in India. He is also a member of several societies, such as International Society for Tropical Ecology, ISTE, International Society on Tropical Crop Research and Development. He is also the member of Indian Environmental Society, IES, National Environmental Conservation Association, and Scientific Advisory Committee of KVK, Gwalior, etc. He has been awarded as Gwalior Ratna for Environmental Leadership in Gwalior in 1992. He was also felicitated for Environment Leadership in Gwalior by Science Centre, Gwalior in the year 1993.
Honorable sir, I request you to please address the gathering. Yes.
Good evening, one and all. Dignitaries on and off the dais, and also all those dignitaries who are in the virtual board. It's very good to hear about yourself. And I've done this, I've done that, especially on a platform like this. And it increases your palpitation and everything. Gives you a lot of pumping of glucose in your body, so you're at night and talk about a lot of things. So thank you very much, Prestige Institute, for giving that introduction. It was in a literature form, but then you put it in a virtual mode. Thank you very much. Prestige Institute of Management and Research Gwalior is organizing its 13th international conference on Industry 4.0. So when Prestige faculty members and Dr. Joshi, he came to me. I'm not a man from commerce, so I said, what is this 4.0? I don't get it. So I need to understand what is this 4.0 so that I can at least be comfortable with the August gathering over here. So he gave me a brief, sensitizing of what is 4.0, and then I could get it. But then after going through the literature and through the presentations, I can now understand what is 4.0, and I will at least communicate with you. What I believe that each institution has actually two important things to perform. One is the academic profile, which is done in the classrooms. And this is evaluated by the mark sheets, percentages, and so on. Then there is another profile, which is called as professional profile. It needs to be developed, and it needs to develop parallelly as far as academic profile is concerned. Which is actually nowadays, that's a little bit lagging behind in most of the education institutes. Hands-on activities, workshops, enrolling programs, and so many things are lacking. So usually a student, when he goes out for placement, he says, well, I've secured 90% marks and I'm not getting a job. That's what is happening in my university. And maybe it's happening in many more institutions. And there is another person who is hardly getting, about say 75%, 80%, and he gets 2 offers, 3 offers, 4 offers. So let's say 200% placement, something like that. And then everyone thinks, why is it happening? So probably we need to focus more on the professional profile. So academic profile and professional profile, they must both go together. And this is one of the best ways of organizing international conferences, seminars, symposiums, I think workshops as well in commerce, And these all go together unless and until the professional profile is parallel to the academic profile, the projectivity of a human as a resource in the market becomes difficult. Human as a mark sheet, fine, but human as a resource, it's a little bit difficult for everyone. I always say that failure is a step towards success. The more you fail, the more you should feel that you are approaching your success. This is what I always say to all faculty members. Never be disheartened by failures, because that's the first step of success. It's a very rare opportunity that you succeed at the first time. Every person, everyone whom you appreciate as a successful person has a struggle behind, which nobody knows. संघर्ष नहीं देखता, सफलता देखता है. There is a struggle behind every person, either in games, sports, athletics, academics, everywhere. Everyone is going for a struggle, and then that struggle leading to success. So don't be disheartened by these failures. You are approaching very close to success. Keep that in your mind. And definitely success is very close to you. During my school days, when I was in class 12, of course, I was not very good in mathematics. That's why I jumped into the biological stream. So sometimes mathematics teachers used to put up some queries and questions and with different formulas. Like there is a water tank, and there is a point in which the water is leaving the tank at the rate of 2.5 liters per minute. And then there is another point wherein there is a refueling of the tank at 3 liters per minute. So when will the tank be full? Very complicated system, But then as a biological science student, I used to say, इसमें क्या दिक्कत है? जहाँ से पानी निकलता है बंद करो, that's all. I thought it was very simple during my student days. But the more I went into the biological system, the more I started understanding simulation, modeling, generation of computers, and cognitive science. I think I'm sure you all understand cognitive science. So the more I started understanding, then I realized, well, that was something that was very important, and I missed it during my days, which I should have learned and I should have thought about. So what I feel now is that 4.0, there's the fourth generation of industrialization, fourth generation of interconnectivity, and fourth generation of all this technology entering into the biological system. In biological science, it is very, very difficult to understand the human body. Very difficult. You must be knowing once you enter into a particular hospital, so many tests, it's all diagnostics. Never something, little bit of initial treatment is symptomatic, later on it's all diagnostic. You are advised a couple of tests, and as a layman, you try to read, but then you don't understand what it is. So you need a specialized person for all this. So I was trying to interpret while I was on the dais, what can be done. Like we are having some gene sequencing methodologies over here, complicated. It's very difficult to be interpreted by a human being. It's only a computer software system, either through bioinformatics or somewhere else. Only then can you understand this gene sequencing. And I think that has brought wonders to this country, like we are developing a vaccine so fast in the world, very competitive, but then we developed it. So actually these models, simulations, they create a hypothetical intervention. And once these hypothetical interventions are there, then you get into system modeling, simulation, data interpretation, and most importantly, data retrieval. Once upon a time, nobody bothered to talk about the meteorological, data which comes in newspapers or in the news. अरे ये तो सब कुछ नहीं होता. बरसात होगी, धूप निकला. No, it's all wrong. But now, I think it is correct. Even temperatures, meteorological interventions are getting in. So these biological systems, climatic systems, what Professor Holani was talking about, sustainable development, this is very, very important, and it can only go through this system modeling and this fourth generation of computerization. Robotics, precision, any other, lithotripsy, what you call bombarding of stool in your body by way of ultrasound. Very specific, very precise. Immediately, you enter a hospital, you're out of it. Dissections in classrooms, zoological dissections. They are all on a simulation system model now. And they are very close, very close. You need not go to the lab and start cutting. And then you suddenly realize you have cut wrong because you are nobody, So you need another earthworm, you need another frog, you need another cockroach, something like that. And then you basically forget everything, like I have forgotten everything. So, but then if you have a system modeling, simulation component, you are aware of it, you can immediately log back and come into it. So life sciences is taking a lot of advantage of this industry 4.0 and key drivers for sustainable global business practices. Then I was also thinking like what's going to happen after 10 years. Everyone was saying, it was there in the news and the newspaper, like you were talking about AI. So I think it was there in the newspapers about 4 days back. I read it. That Alexa, you must be aware of. That's another AI intervention which has come up. So a small kid asked a challenging task from Alexa. You suggest me a challenging task? Can you imagine what was that challenging task? Alexa told. Anyone have read this in the newspapers? I read it. Yes. That was very, very easy. So that is how if AI takes over human intelligence, I think interpretation of data will be in a different manner. So I was thinking, can we have a digital highway? Mediclaim or a medicine digital highway. Like you see, you are on a highway. You're asked to pay tolls the moment, you pay a particular toll and then you can travel on that highway. So maybe we have a medical highway and in which there are various doctors which you meet as a toll on the way. And you pay the toll and you visit the doctor. You can be a dentist, an orthodontist, an orthopedic, or child specialist, whatever it is, or maybe a simple medical practitioner. So you're traveling on the highway and there are a couple of doctors lined up at different tolls and you see whoever suits you and you click on them, you pay the fees and there he is available for you for all your interactions. Maybe I think it's going to happen. So we're not going to find big doctor chambers everywhere, like business is changing now. Simply that's also going to change. So not only this, that doctor will also advise you and talk to you about your budget for medicines. So if you are saying I'm a low budgeted patient, he will also advise you, well, then you take these medicines because they are equally effective. That can be very useful to the humankind. And I think for sustainable development, Professor Ulani has put it up in a very spiritual way, very touching way. But I feel that doing the right thing is not just enough. We must do the right thing rightly. That is more important. So doing the right thing rightly gives you sustainable development. That means you have a thought of what is going to happen, what will happen, what is the loss now, and what is going to happen in future as well. So life sciences sector, of course, commerce is again coming up. It's very difficult to collect so much of GSTs and income tax and so many things. It's very difficult. But it's because of these softwares, it's because of this fourth generation of commerce which is coming up, computers. And I think I heard somewhere, I'm not a man from medicine, but we are in the fourth generation of antibiotics. Fourth generation of antibiotics. So maybe the generation changes, so we get into another one. So I think this was the apt and most appropriate topic to be taken up at an international level. And I appreciate Prestige Institute of Management and Research for taking the apt topic. And I congratulate one and all. And thank you all for permitting me to do some loud thinking and sharing with you. Thank you all.
So for your deep thoughts and showing us different paradigm for sustainable development. Thank you, sir. It takes humility to seek feedback. It takes wisdom to understand it, analyze it, and appropriately act on it. Said by Stephen Covey. With this, I would like to call a few delegates who have joined us in this conference and come from different zones, online and offline. And first of them, I would like to call Dr. Shiva Kulkarni from IIT Nagpur. Please come here and share your feedback, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Vice Chancellor Professor Tiwari, Professor Olani, and Vice Chairman Mr. Shah, Mr. Jain, and Director Mr. Nishan Joshi, and everyone present here. The first thought about this conference, coming from Nagpur, and I've attended quite a few conferences in IIMs as well. But there are two things which I found distinctly better than any of the previous conferences that I've attended. The first thing is that the galaxy of eminent speakers that were present in this conference, which is quite a rarity. Even at the level of IIMs, these many eminent speakers were rare to found. So I congratulate Prestige Institute of Management and Research Gwalior for what figures in one single conference, which is really to be appreciated. And second thing, the kind of amount of research papers that they could ask researchers to present. Close to 200 people coming presenting their research ideas is again kind of a task which is not very common in the management conferences. At least those management conferences that I have witnessed myself. So this is a kind of a conference. I wish this conference to have little more duration, like maybe 3 day or kind of 4 days, if possible, because the kind of efforts you are putting, right, really deserve to be made to a grand level. It deserves. There is no second thought about it. This is one of the finest conference, and I wish, since you have actually, maybe in hybrid mode next year, hopefully we will not have any pandemic restrictions. So, if possible, to make it at even, bigger scale, because you only can do it. That's what I have to say. Yeah. Thank you for inviting me.
Second candidate participant is Breeze Tripathi from Bhopal. She is here through online notes. I request technical team can we talk to her. Hello, ma'am. Good evening. I hope you are.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone. A very warm good evening to one and all present over there, and the esteemed dignitaries present and the dais. I thank you for giving me this opportunity. In fact, I would like to say that this sustainable 13th International Conference on Industry 4.0 and key drives of sustainable global practices, which was organized by Prestige Institute, was perfect learning, I felt at my level that while returning to my hometown Bhopal, I had left a world behind me in Gwalior. It seems not only because the event got an opportunity to meet people from different countries, but more importantly, because of the opportunity to meet the world of knowledge and talent that was held in the event in Gwalior. Instead, more than that, I have no words to describe the pleasure of meeting meeting my external of my PhD, Dr. Holani sir. Thank you so much, sir. It is like listening to each participant and understanding their work is, getting more learning every time, every minute, every hour. I actually enjoyed. May the experiences be there which will be helpful to us in the area of any life. This remarkable thing is that the detail with which the panelists understood the work of all of us. Like yesterday, I was presenting my PhD. I listened to Dr. Upadhyay sir and Madam Lakshmi ma'am and Amitabh sir. Everybody was like, somewhere they were scrutinizing. Even though we have awarded the PhD, and they were scrutinizing why this and why that, why not this and why not that. So these all things, we can, they were trying to polish it, not only told us our shortcomings, but also help that how can we bring more excellence in such work in, in near future. And I would also call this event such a mini kumbh in terms of knowledge and intellectual development, whose memory will never go away. This was my first time. And this event has also allowed us to think out of the box and prepare our mindset accordingly. We all hardly get the opportunity to give a more significant shape to our thinking after meeting many people and knowing about their work. I hope, in near future, my prayer, I hope that I may get the opportunity to participate in such events again, to carve my knowledge. And I'm so thankful to Prestige Group of Industries and the organizers and the administrator of the Prestige in the group of colleges and university. Thank you so much for giving me an opportunity.
Online, are you with DJ? Technically, can you help us? Ma'am, can you share your feedback, please? Am I audible, ma'am? Ma'am, requesting you to please share your feedback. I think there is some technical error. Ma'am, try to unmute it. Fine, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good evening and a warm welcome to everyone present here. This is Dr. Arivaselvi Vijay. I'm working as project coordinator in Christian Medical College, Vellore, Tamil Nadu. And this is the first time I'm participating in a conference as an employee. Before that, I was a student and I was a full-time research scholar. This is the first time where I was not able to put my efforts towards participation and proceeding with the formal procedures. I was not able to follow up with that. So thanks to the organizing committee who were helpful in giving up the updates on time, and they were reminding for all the requirements towards submission of my PhD presentation. And I have to say this, I was much interested to present the papers, but it was Assistant Professor Brahmanand Sharma who initiated and gave me an idea and who motivated me to present my thesis. He asked for whether I have completed my doctoral degree or not, and he insisted me on getting my provisional certificate. Then he proceeded me and facilitated me to presenting my best thesis presentation contest. So grateful thanks and humblest thanks to him, as well as to the whole team of organizing committee of that best PhD thesis presentation. And heartfelt thanks to the whole team of conference committee. Thank you once again, and I thank each one of them for giving me an opportunity to share my opinions. Wishing all the participants and the dignitaries a very happy, healthy, and prosperous new year ahead. Thank you so much.
To give token of gratitude to our special guest, Professor Umesh Polani, present over here. Can we have I also request Professor Dr. Tarika Singh, Deputy Director, IT, Commerce and Law, to give token of gratitude to our guest, Professor Avinash Tiwari, Vice Chancellor, Tiwari University, present over here. Our guest of honor, Dr. Himanshu Rai, present online in function, sir, please accept our sincere gratitude. Our distinguished keynote speaker, Vidya S. Akota, present online, sir, please accept our heartfelt gratitude. Our eminent special guest, Arhans Hafid, present online, sir, please accept our heartfelt acknowledgement. I request our distinguished special guest, Professor Theopat Rao, present online to accept our sincere gratitude. Our eminent guest of honor, Professor Justin Paul, present online, please accept our heartfelt acknowledgement. Thank you, Devi Jain sir, for being with us. Heartfelt thank you. Heartbreak is a national anthem and we sing it proudly. And I request the entire gathering to please rise yourself for national anthem. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना उच्छल जलधि तरंग तव शुभ नाम जागे तब शुभ आशीष मा